Hello and welcome back to the Tea Break Podcast, episode 007, part of the youtube.com/Sofa of Adam, where you can go to find the highest quality content we are capable of making on PSVR and some flat games that catch our eye, where as a subscriber or not, you can join the conversation. So go leave us a comment, ask us a question. We like to hear from you. We do our best to answer back to as many as we can, because at the end of the day, we're all a little group and a family, aren't we, Mike?
Yeah, now that it's like 250 of us.
There's as many of us as there are Pokemon originally, so that's fine.
We doubled the original Pokemon.
How many were there after the second gen? Because it was 150.
Yeah,
and then it didn't go to 250? Or was it 200?
Like 260 or something. I don't.
Because 100. Oh no, 150 and 150 is 300. So it might have gone from 150 to 300. But anyway, I am your host Adam. I am your host Adam, and with me across the microphone is the legend that is Mike.
Hello again. You
I overestimate how many people speak of you.
I have not won a war against Darkspawn in reality.
No, but you've done it virtually.
I've done it virtually like 6 times.
Like
People should know me, invaders.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll be going straight on to our first segment, which is Wherever You Are, Have We Been? So Mike, we'll be talking about games that have been on our radar lately, and you've been playing quite a few things, haven't you?
Bridge Crew.
Done
that a couple of times with Darren. First time was never trust me with the seat of command, was what we learnt from the first time I played Star Trek VR. Second time is don't trust me with the weapons either.
No, that's a really good point, to be fair.
I would be a hopeless ensign on Voyager. I'd probably be dead. I would be one of the crew who died in the first 5 minutes of Voyager.
How did you find the actual controls for that? Because you don't play many games using the Move controllers, do you? So
it took a bit of getting used to, but that wasn't like button placements. It was more where the controls were hidden.
Oh yeah, because it's all virtual, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's all done on buttons that aren't really there in front of you, so you're tapping at screens that don't exist. So
yeah,
they're obviously navigation of those menus could be easier, but it's meant to be like that because Star Trek. So if it was really easy, it would be quite boring because you just press a button and it would happen. And I've really enjoyed watching. It's great. It does really work.
And they make it look so easy in like Voyager, Next Generation. Cling to attack. It's like everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
just do it. And it's like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I going? How does this ship fly?
I like the fact that it does actually put you inside the ship.
Yeah.
So when you like fly left or fly right, the ship tilts and you can see it out the view screen. Because obviously I always thought the view screen was just a screen. But it is glass in this version. So it's a window or a television, and you can change what it's looking at, which I really like. I like the fact that you can go magnify and you can lock on and zoom in to what it is that you're firing and watch it explode from far away so that everyone can see. And the fact that did you play as Captain?
I played as Captain when I first played it, and I got us blown up.
Because you played, there's only 2 of us, isn't there? So it's you and Darren, or me and Darren, because VR headsets and all. So how did you find swapping between characters?
Little jarring to begin with, because it's sort of like a blackout transition, and then boom, you're at a different station and different body. And it took a bit of getting used to, but it's like when you phaser fire, it sort of becomes a lesser concern.
Yeah, I suppose under the stress of the situation, it doesn't matter as long as the thing is done.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like the fact that you can play it with just 2 people or 1 person. I like the fact that you can go online and it does just dump people in. I dislike the fact that you can't have a private room. You have to sort of sit there and invite your friend and kick all the players that aren't part of your group. And I just felt bad. I don't know if I was missing something in the menu. I don't know if there's like somewhere you can go private room, but you make a room, you go private lobby, create room, and then it says, you can't add people to it.
Do let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know if I've just been very rude to all these people for no reason, just kicking them out of the party because I want to do it with 1 person instead. Because I don't know if I'm missing something.
I'd say I don't know if they're doing a 2, if Ubisoft are that...
Ubisoft.
But no, whether they're that far ahead in doing a Bridge Crew 2.
I doubt it, because they're moving on to greener pastures with VR.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing more, aren't they? There's more VR games coming from Ubisoft.
But I sort of wouldn't mind if they went, Christmas DLC, here's the next generation Enterprise
I'd
skin.
like to see things added in. Yeah, I would like to play.
Oh,
in some of
here's
the
a
other
few
ships.
missions with Romulans or Ferengi or
Well,
the Borg.
we haven't completed it.
No,
I mean, it's
but I
unlike-
doubt that the Borg will
Yeah, I was
turn
going to say
up.
it's unlikely that we're going to come across the Borg. We're getting a bit Star Trek nerdy now. Some people aren't going to know what we're talking about, but the point is, yeah, they could add more to that game
Yeah.
as time goes on. I like the fact that I just like how the ease of use is great. It makes, because we didn't do the tutorial.
And then one thing that annoys me about this, it's sort of, you look at the store, it says VR required. You turn it on and it says, do you want to play this non-VR mode or VR mode?
Well, yeah, you can play it without VR. It doesn't say it's not VR required.
Yeah, but it's like when Resident Evil comes out, it sort of said, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it basically promoted to VR optional.
That's what it says.
Not on that, it's like
No,
VR
that's because we went on the
required.
store. If you go onto the VR store, they all come up as VR required because you're in the VR. You're getting the VR version of the game. It's a bit like if you get the Super Hot. It's got two versions of the game on the store. If you look, there's Super Hot VR and Super Hot Normal. If you buy the VR one, you sort of get the normal one with it in a bundle if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, I think for other players, you can buy it and then play without VR, which is nice, I suppose. I don't mind it. I prefer games that are determined and stick with VR only because I feel like that's a good way of dragging players over.
This one definitely needed that VR because of not trying it in non-VR mode. VR really helps you.
Yeah,
to be
it does make the
part
game.
of
Yeah,
that
the
world.
game doesn't seem. I don't see how that game would be any fun
Without it.
VR. But it's not. I can't. I think it's hard because you can't really alienate the rest of the VR, the non-VR community. Because if they want to play a game, they will. And I feel like best that they play it with people in VR and maybe see them having fun, and then they'll want to buy it. I don't know if that's the right way to convince people to buy VR, is to let them play a game with people that are in VR and you're sat there not in VR looking at people having fun. And I'm like, well, I don't see how that helps. Yes, you get more people into your game, but for furthering VR as a whole, I don't see how that really helps. But I'm not against it. Obviously,
It's kind of like, it's sort of like the argument I have with Microsoft doing cross play with PC and then calling it an exclusive.
Yeah, I also have that problem. Yeah. What have I been up to in VR?
Well,
Where have VR have I been?
You've been doing all sorts.
Well, yeah, I suppose they're on the channel. I'm just trying to think. There was VR carts, which
Yeah,
I've quite enjoyed. That's been fun. That got votes. Somebody in the comments put. Oh, maybe I'll talk about it at the end. But somebody mentioned that that was in the worst top 10 games list on
when it was a
VR
app game.
Frank's channel. He put it in like the top 10 worst games on VR, and I'm like, it's not.
It's not. I mean,
It's
but again,
not.
you
There are
might have been
worse
playing
games.
it later than because they might have.
Yeah, it
added
might
a
have had
couple
some
of-
updates or something since then, but it's not the worst.
No,
It's not. There are much worse as far as driving games go as well.
It's not
if you
bad.
like Mario Kart, you'll like this.
Yeah.
because it's that
'Cause,
sort of game. It's almost
mean,
identical.
There is that Mario Kart VR, but we're not going to get on that on
Yeah, that's
PlayStation.
that's
so
never
this is
happening.
as close as we're going to get.
Yeah, it really is.
They could-
Unless Google Cardboard, this weird Nintendo
Cardboard.
thing, the Labo, Nintendo Labo, which from our point of view happened yesterday, came out
Yeah.
like midnight last night. We noticed that springing up, and we were like, "Oh, that's weird."
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because a little while ago when we were talking about it, weren't we? Because there was some rumours going round that
About
there was a patent
peripherals.
for Nintendo with all these cardboard fold-ups, wasn't there? And we thought, you can put the screen in the front. You've got your Google Cardboard, just need 2 plastic lenses. So I don't know if this is them testing the water. Because I reckon, and this is just my opinion, and I'm more than happy to be completely wrong because I don't have a Nintendo, but people that do have a Nintendo Switch, you are only 2 lenses of plastic away from a VR headset. You mean we've all seen a Google Cardboard. That did quite well in Japan.
Yeah.
Google Cardboard became a bit of a thing, and then Samsung jumped on it and did
Did
Gear
Gear.
VR, which is the solid version. So in Japan, that's really popular, the idea of just slotting your phone into a cardboard
And
object.
Sitting on a roller coaster for 20
Yeah,
minutes.
and sit on the roller coaster for 10 minutes because they've all got tiny rooms or whatever. I don't know. But lack of me to judge. But Nintendo obviously have probably seen those and thought, we've got the 2 sticks that track triangulate the location, and that seems to be what they've done so far. But I don't know if you'd go as far as to say they're going to make the leap to VR.
They would probably have to rebuild it for VR.
I don't think so, because you just need the two lenses. Because I think you can, it's got tilt functionality and all that sort of thing. So I'm not sure how far. I don't know how immersive you could get it to be. But let's put it this way: the screen on a Nintendo Switch is 720 by a funny number. 720 by a very odd number that makes it a very slightly above 720p. Funnily enough, that's basically the same as the PlayStation VR screen, except the PlayStation VR screen is smaller. So really, if you had a Switch in front of your eyes and some lenses, you're going to have more view, technically. And it's going to be fun because you've still technically got Move controllers.
No, you're not wrong.
I just would love to see it. I don't know if you could start going. You wouldn't suddenly get VR games on Switch though, because they wouldn't work. It's not like you could play Skyrim on the Switch. I mean, you could maybe just use a controller and they could attach the cardboard bit, you know, just tilt functionality to looking around, just sat still.
Well, we'll just have to see what.
I doubt it'll even happen, but
Nintendo will do.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen really, but it's something interesting. I think
and the
it's
fact
something...
that it is literally just they could release a Labo kit with 2 plastic lenses and they're done.
See, that's not too far wrong. Actually, that's probably more likely. Is that it would actually be in a year's time? It would be like.
Here's a new Labo set.
It would be like Google Cardboard. It would be for a few little fun Nintendo spin-off games that you can only get with the Labo sort of brand. A bit like VR, the Playroom.
Yeah.
It would be Nintendo Playroom, and it would only be that. Nothing else would go in VR. It'd be like, this is just a little VR thing we've made where you can put the headset into a cardboard thing.
Yeah,
and you get the Labo cardboard fold out with the 2 plastic lenses, and off you go. And that's probably more likely than me getting a
full
VR Switch
Nintendo
later on with a proper headset. But you know, the Labo kit is probably the best outlook on that,
and the easiest for them to do without sinking a lot of money into it.
Other than that, though, I've just been playing all the normal things. I've been enjoying Star Trek as well.
Yeah.
The graphics on that have actually really surprised me sometimes.
Must admit, now I've had
pretty.
like a couple of goes at it, I'm not panicking as less. It's sort of, I know like when I'm playing it with Darren, it's like I know he's doing his job. I've got to have a look around to see where he is. Yeah. But it's like really fun, and it's sort of I'm picking it up rather.
Yeah, I like being captain because I've got the hang of all the captain controls. Because when only 2 of you are in the game, the other person sort of hops around. What's nice is if you are captain, you can leave the captain's chair, so the 2 of you can be hopping around the actual useful positions. And when an order comes in, you hop back to the captain's chair, see what the order is, and then you go back.
And then do go from there.
Yeah, I like that. It is a very fluid game. They've put a lot of work into making it fun. And I haven't even done the old ship yet. I haven't gone into the.
I'm scared to. I'm
scared. I've seen pictures. I've heard rumour of how challenging that is.
Yeah, but it's mainly because it's like there's a lot of buttons.
What one is it? It's the Kirk. It's the original Kirk.
William Shatner Kirk.
Oh, William.
Ship.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. No. See, that's because I don't actually know what ship it is. I just know what it looks like on the inside, which is grey. Grey.
60s vision of the future.
No, I like the idea of it though, and it really has. It's done a good job.
Yeah, that's mainly what we've been doing in VR.
That is mainly what we've been up to. I can't think of anything else that we've been up to. Next time we talk about this, we'll hopefully have Darren here, and he can join us, because now that he's got a headset, it'll be good to get him on and see what he's been playing as a new user, see what he thinks of some of these games.
I would like to jump back into Skyrim at some point.
Yeah, it would be good to get back into Skyrim. See, I've obviously been doing it on the channel, but it's difficult to really play it for fun. I mean, obviously on the channel I am playing it for fun, but it's very, you really have to challenge yourself not to use fast travel and to really play it like I'm there, which is very immersive.
I don't know what it is. I mean, there was that I had one instance where I fast travelled, but that was mainly because I was trying to click something on the map and I sort of missed my marker. So I fast travelled, but it's like I don't know what it is. It's like I don't have the urge to use. I prefer to do what you're doing on your bit, just get a horse and just go.
There's something really nice about. I wish you could switch it off. I wish you could go into the settings. Rude phone calls.
Yes.
Michael,
Well,
is
no,
he not
but-
muted?
No, no
Just
one
mute
calls
it.
me, that's why.
No one ever phones you.
No one phones me, so why do I need to turn my phone off?
Yeah, but but yeah, I do find that it's weird when you're in VR. You don't need to fast travel, and you don't feel the need because you're there, and it doesn't feel like something you do in real life.
And also,
But I do wish you could switch it off in the settings. We should go in there and go fast travel. Maybe there should be like a realistic setting, and you can play the game with it turned off. That'd be great.
I saw a trailer for this version on the Switch having like a survival mode where you got to eat and
Yeah, don't know whether that's there or not,
I
or whether
hope
that
it is.
comes. Yeah, because Todd's obviously got that now.
Yeah.
And he seems to be having a laugh. He seems to be loving it on the Switch, but that's because he's never played it before. Obviously, if he had a VR headset, I'm certain he'd be playing it in there. But he's got it on Switch, and he is just loving that.
And his only other, I'd say, experience with an Elder Scrolls game is that one the online one we did.
Oh God, yeah, he did play that with us, didn't he?
So this is going to be. I did think when you said he got it, I was like, how has that tainted how he views?
That was
Skyrim?
a real mistake, wasn't it, when that came out, and we all thought, you and me,
we literally thought
we'll
it
get
would be
we'll get the
Skyrim online.
Yeah, we'll get the online one, and then Todd can play it with us. Oh yes, we all went out and bought it. Got home and played it for like 2 weeks, and we like really dragged ourselves through it, like forcing ourselves online, because it had lots of things in there that were like not half bad. It was just sort of
It was a
but
brilliant
you and the
idea.
other 5 million people
and they
it was
made
just
out you were the
awful.
one hero in the world. But the bit that annoyed me most is not so much the you are the one hero in all the world who can save us. Here's the 500 other heroes that could save us. But it was the DLC was a bit. I say it was a bit swizzly because it was like the Dark Brotherhood. That should be a mechanic in there
loads
already.
of things were like paid for. Oh, it was such.
Thieves
It was pay to win.
Guild.
That was a real pay to win game. That was you can put in some cash here and you can just have whatever you want. It's World of Warcraft, but bad. Imagine if that was in VR though. I'd go back because then it would be like you and me in VR, whatever,
That's
in
why,
a room
that's
together.
But with Elder Scrolls 6 maybe on the horizon, I sort of hope that
I think it's likely
it'll
that
be
will
like
be
Resident Evil
made
7, where you can play it without. But
I
if you
hope so.
haven't got, if you've got a VR, you can just switch it on and you can go. But if you haven't, don't worry about it.
That's a really good point. I do hope that's what they do. Maybe we'll have to do a bit of research into that. Obviously, Bethesda have been doing a lot of stuff.
And they've
with their
got like three
engines.
IPs that are in the works, and I think one of them's a new IP.
True.
So one of them could be Elder Scrolls 6.
A new IP isn't Elder Scrolls
No,
6.
but they're working on 3 IPs. One of them is a new
one
IP.
of them's a new one. 2 are so they might be doing an Elder Scrolls 6, and I don't think they are yet. From what I read, I swear I read somewhere else the other day that one of the main art directors that works on Bethesda's games made it quite clear that as of yet they haven't started. But I don't know if that's true or not. Like, I don't it may well have been from an invalid source. But I believe,
or an outdated comment,
Yeah, but it was only so long ago. I'm just thinking I'd have to actually dig the comment out of the internet, which I'm not willing to do. It'd be quite sudden, but it wouldn't be out of this world. But it seems unlikely, like shaking one of those balls. With the
well, I get it. This shit.
Well, what's going to happen? Magic balls.
Don't count on it.
Don't count on it. Exactly. So that all out of the way, what we've been playing, which is quite a lot actually in the end, we can move on to check the PSN store in the UK and see what sales and what things have been catching our eye. And honestly, it's a dull week for VR players. We've got lots of normal flat games, though I can only point out a few that are actually interesting, which is like Kerbal Space Program, the Enhanced Edition.
Well, you just love that game.
I love that game. I love that game on PC. That's my relaxing game. That and Scrap Mechanic are the games I play to unwind.
I wouldn't mind playing Beholder, but it's sort of one of them games as if there was like Beholder, it's a game where you basically play a nosy landlord spying on your tenants for the government.
Oh, okay.
One of them games I would play when there's nothing else to play. It sort of interests me in that sort of regard.
Oh, okay.
So if like once I'd got on board with Skyrim,
puzzle platformer or what is it?
Remember sort of Papers, Please. Sort of you're spying on people.
So one flat screen moving things around.
Not so much you're like on the bottom. Gameplay's like your building is on top, you're at the bottom as sort of spying on your neighbours.
That's a weird idea. I might have to have a look at that one. It's a shame. That sounds like it sounds like something that would be good for VR, like spying on people and that sort of thing. But yeah, Other than that, there really isn't anything on the store that's popped
for
up.
VR, other than Star Drone.
Yes, Star Drone. But my opinion on this is a bit weird.
It's funper, but
yeah,
not
it's
quite.
awful, really, in my opinion. It's a game from 2013, I think. 2013 it came out. It might have been 2012, but it came out on Vita and PSP, and it's just from what I can see, it's a sort of semi-bullet hell, except there's some... I don't want to call it rail shooters, but there seems to be like grind rails, let's say, and your ball sort of gets trapped in the rails and moved around the screen, and you're shooting things. Very colourful. I don't know what that will be in VR. It's very, very flat. Like, it is not a game that has any kind of depth or perception at all. It's just bright colours on a flat image. So I don't look at it and think, oh, I know totally how that's going to be in VR. I can really picture that. I can't. I literally have no idea.
There's no VR trailer for it.
There's no trailer, nothing. We
has
clicked
no
it.
information.
Yeah, we clicked it, and it's just taken us to the PlayStation blog, which, as always, is empty, and says, this data cannot be found. It's like, well, you linked us here, you stupid people. Like, they need to... The PlayStation Store really is horrendous. Like, finding things in VR is bad enough, but hopefully they're doing this upgrade, aren't they? The update.
The new software.
The software update. I'm really hoping that that's going to be VR store capabilities.
As well as the
just separate the store out and get it working.
Names.
Yeah, yes, Yuhei Yoshida might finally allow us to change our username. Though I've kept my username for ages. I've been AD Sketcher since before I was born. Deep down, I knew it in my PlayStation,
code.
my genetic code. It was written underneath my password. How you unlock me. Other than that, there really is nothing.
Not this week.
No. Oh yeah, there is actually one thing. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Don't want to talk about the game. Not really my thing at all.
I can't.
More irritating that the picture and the trailer is a guy in a VR headset. The game is not anything to do with VR.
But the thing is, that's
and
what
that's
I'm
just
waiting.
Silly
I'm
to
waiting to get the Digimon VR game.
But yeah, so am I. I don't know where they are. I don't know why, or maybe they're taking... The games that we're getting are quite short form, so I partly don't mind, because I'm like, later games are going to be probably bigger and better, so...
No, I'm waiting. I mean, just imagine that Digimon World game I played, if it was like in first-person VR, and Agumon's like the size of your elbow.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, that would be awesome.
That would be amazing. All Pokemon in the same respect. You're more likely to get something like that, again, I hate to say it, out of the Nintendo Switch. If they were to do something, it would be like Pokemon Snap. You know, put it in the slot, get your plastic camera out, cardboard camera. Cardboard camera. Be a bit pointless if they made them out of plastic. There's a lot of capabilities there for fun entertainment, but we won't get that on PS. We won't get that on PlayStation, I'm afraid. We'll have to wait for things to be made up that are new IPs where we catch Digimon and Pokemon. We might get Digimon, I suppose. I suppose you're not wrong, because Digimon's been on all sorts of platforms, hasn't it?
Been on
including PlayStation. I mean, we just read it out, so it must be on PlayStation, but it should be in VR.
I agree. It's like, especially again, Sword Art Online. Where's the VR for that? I mean, that is basically a game about VR.
Yeah, well, that is a game about VR. I don't understand how that... There's loads of opportunities that we're just waiting for. Moving on, quite swiftly,
yes,
to games which are coming out soon, which we've had to dig out of the woodwork all over the place at PSVR Prospect and lots of different VR channels that we like to keep our eye on just for the updates. There's quite a few, actually, that look more interesting, that are just in the future. So we've made a note of a few of the most interesting ones. And the first one is Ground Runner, which is like a plasma bike game. They call them plasma bikes.
Sort of like Akira, but if you floated.
Yeah, it's like floating, floating hover bikes. And you can... I think it's all done with the Move controllers by the looks of it, so that's quite nice. It'd be like flying a plane. So you use your hands to shoot over the top of like your futuristic handlebars. It's got a cool garage mode, which is basically a job simulator to put your ship together. So that looks interesting, so that you can sort of get out. I mean, you can't walk around, I don't think. You just sort of stood next to it, but you can like change bits. So I like that way of doing it. It's currently on Steam, or it's coming to Steam, one or the other, and they're planning on bringing that over to PSVR. And I can see it. I like the idea, but it looks a bit like Battlezone to me. I saw the trailer and just saw Battlezone with a different skin. And I mean, I
And
suppose
the
you can
ability to
float.
float.
Yeah, and the ability to float. But what did you think?
It's like, I don't know if there's a captivating story to go along with this sort of landed on planet scavenger bike ride, but it's like, and I don't know. Is the honest answer. It's like
It's not really your sort of thing anyway, is it?
No.
No, it doesn't really look like pod racing. It doesn't really look like racing game.
I
It
don't
doesn't
even
look
know
like
if it's an RPG.
Yeah, it doesn't really show. I think it is just a shooter, but a wave shooter. Things are going to keep coming. There's quite a few games which sort of boil down to a wave shooter in the end of the day.
Yeah.
Next, we have Zone of Enders, which I'm kind of keen for.
I'm keen for.
It looks good. It looks like fun.
But
If you
I
don't-
saw the gameplay and it was sort of. I don't know if it was because of
I think the
legal
guy.
reasons.
I think the
it was
guy
just-
was struggling to get the controls down. If I'm
Yeah.
honest, from what
And-
we'd seen, I think
And
that
also
one
just
playthrough.
felt a bit lackluster.
I am curious because
But-
I said to you, didn't I? Like Zone of Enders is quite fast-paced.
And I didn't get that from the gameplay.
No, I don't know how you can do it in VR. Like I say, it's quite interesting, and it does flat cutscenes. Resident Evil does that as well.
Well,
you've
when
got-
they cut to a
the
square
cutscene.
box.
Yeah, the cutscene is just in like a cinema on a cinema screen, and I don't understand why can't I be in the cockpit for that?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same view as well. They show you the cockpit and these two screens in front of you, so you've got a cutscene of like people talking, and then it just puts you in. I'm like, well, that seems like a waste. But I suppose again, do you really want to have to go through all the cutscenes and remake them and get voice actors back? Or I don't know if that's maybe just so they can get it
Or
out
that's
faster.
just for like the press demo.
Maybe, but I doubt it because even Resident Evil does flat cutscenes.
Oh yeah, sometimes you load in the loading screen, it's just like a box in front of you. Even Skyrim does it, where the loading screen is a box.
Well,
And you-
Skyrim's fine. Skyrim gives you a pretty good idea of it, but Resident Evil is literally like it's another cinema screen. You just get a flat view for the cutscenes, which is a bit strange, but don't know. Onwards, we've got Project Lux, which I think you play a digital person or a robot. And it was the Japanese one. Do you remember? With
Yeah,
the
the
anime girl?
anime one.
Yeah, it looks really good. To me, it looks really good. I'm really interested in that sort of thing. It looks very anime. I really like the way that it looks. Pretty. You seem to be an android because there's a bit where he puts his hand out in front of him and it's a human skin hand,
Well,
but
Yeah,
there's
it's
some
just
scatting
so-
around in his eyes and the way, and she's talking in Japanese, so I had to get some subtitles and some translatory skills out, pull out my GCSE Japanese. But she was saying things like, "Oh, you're digital now, and are you okay?" and "Oh, something's up, I'll fix you." Really basic little phrases, but
Yeah.
it looks interesting. Has multiple endings as well. There's I don't know what the story is. I'm kind of hoping that you get to go out and about,
I
but
assume
there's
it's
like
probably
a
like a Soma thing
but there's like a ball in the middle of the room, and I think that's the projector.
that's projecting us.
I think maybe you're actually in this ball, and it's projecting you. But I might be wrong. You might have an android body, but that looks interesting. I like anything sort of Japanese RPGs. Certainly anything where I can be in an anime.
Yeah.
Like Megaton Rainfall, but we'll talk about that. Have a sip of my tea. Have a breath. Don't call it the Tea Break Podcast for nothing. But yes, a bit like Megaton Rainfall, but I'll probably talk about that at the end because there's some comments related to that, so drag ourselves around. Ship Ahoy. That was another one.
A multiplayer ship fighting game.
Yeah, you get one ship per person, and it's like Ship Ahoy is in like boats, by the way, and it's very small, almost rubber dinghy like pirate ships. They are the smallest pirate ships I have ever seen.
That's
Very
very
cartoony.
cartoony,
Very cartoony. More cartoony than I think anything I've seen in VR
And
on
this
Steam
looks
or
mo-
PSVR.
It's sad this looks more appealing than the two pirate games that are coming.
Oh no, I don't think so. I'm not looking forward to this one. I think that as far as I like the fact that they give you a stick to pilot your boat. So you get, which is a bit weird. You sort of have a stick in front of you, and then you're shooting and throwing. It reminds me a hell of a lot of Ground Runner with the bike, and a lot of Battlezone, because it's just the same thing. It's multiplayer shooting. It's a good idea, and I'm not complaining. But I think a lot of people are jumping onto that because they think it's a great way to get social VR going. Like, do a social game. What should we do? Shoot each other. We'll do it in a boat. We'll do it in space. We'll do it in a a ship that goes in all directions. We'll do a 2D one. We'll do a flying bike one. I'm like, well, just do a storyline. Do a storyline and move on with your lives. Or unless they're all testing the water. Because some of these companies then go on to do very different VR games.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep our eye out for that. Oh, another Japanese game after to follow on from Project Lux. Got 18th Floor, which is a horror game. It's very vague, but it's more puzzle based by the looks of it.
It looks early Resident Evil.
Yeah, it looks like Resident Evil, but really much more heavy on the Japanese horror. Looks like sort of your classic apartment horror.
Yeah.
A bit like The Ring or something. So I'm not sure how that will go, but it looked interesting. Vague, but it looked hard. And I'll give it that. It did look difficult. The puzzles looked proper difficult.
Blind.
Oh yeah, Blind. Yeah, we got very similar to Stifled.
Yeah.
It's the same idea, but you get a glow effect.
Yeah,
so
sort of like that scene from The Dark Knight where Batman's trying to find the Joker.
Yeah, that kind of glow. Yeah. It's more like that, and I don't know if I want to call it a copycat and say, oh, you've just copied Stifled. Or whether I should be more open to the idea.
But this more looks like more puzzle focused.
Yeah, this one looks more like a game. This one looks more fleshed out, and because
instead
it's
of just
not,
running from a monster.
What's a good tell in it, I find, is that although you play a blind person that's woken up blind, I think you play a girl that's woken up blind. Funnily enough, we said this in the last one, didn't we? Before we heard about this, saying we need a good RPG where you play a blind girl. But this looks still horror, I think. It seemed pretty scary. It's all in black and white, but there was more detail on the objects because it was more of a glowing effect than the lines, which means as a developer and designer and artists, they must have put a fair amount of work into designing the areas, which is normally a good sign. That means that they care about it, whereas I feel like Stifled, not to say they cut it back too far, but I feel like there was having no textures, having nothing, might not be quite as good as having just something. Just something. And
just a little bit.
Yeah, so we don't know anything about the storyline yet, and we're still hoping, obviously. I mean, I think this one is actually definitely coming to PSVR, if I remember. They've already said that they want to bring it to all platforms, and that's what they're working on. So that's one to keep our eye out for. And the last one is Rage Room, where you kill dummies. Yeah, I don't know. It's basically another wave shooter where not monsters in this one. Crash test dummies are running at you or stood there. However, it does look like fun. It did make me smile watching somebody
basically hit someone with
the music was quite
hammer.
Entertaining. If you should go and type that one in and look for the trailer yourself, because that trailer actually sold the concept.
Yeah.
Normally, because the trailer is important for some VR games, and I've seen lots of wave shooters, and I go, I'm not interested. I don't want to stand still and shoot things. This actually made it look fun. There's a bit where he's just cutting people in half with lasers, and then he's got a chainsaw, and then he's punching gloves, and then he gets that hammer, which is just foam, and he's hitting somebody with it, and you can just tell that he's furious. He's like, I just want you to die, and it's just doing nothing. It's no damage at all. And it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. They're self-aware.
Yeah.
The people that made the game know what they're doing, and they're keeping it fresh. And I'm like, well, maybe that could be more fun than just shooting waves of the same thing, and them trying to make it seem clever.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's lots of good things that we have coming up. Anyway, I mean, that being all of them. Is there anything you've got your eye on, Mike?
Nothing as yet.
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that we've missed.
I mean, there's like Monster Hunter that's coming out next week.
Monster Hunter's coming out. That's not VR,
but as
I'm interested.
As that's gotten along, it's like, how am I really going to enjoy this, or am I just infatuated by the dinosaur-looking monsters?
I don't know. I've got a very similar opinion. I'm seeing trailers, and the more I see, I'm going, I don't know if I'm talking myself out of it again.
Yeah.
It's like they showed me all these wonderful things, and they got all the hype up, and they were like, yeah, it's coming out soon, fantastic. I was like, oh, I'd buy this today.
Yeah.
And then they started to feed out more information
trailers.
over and over, and now I'm starting to go, oh, you're talking, stop talking now, stop it, you're making it seem really complicated. I'm starting to drag myself back out of the idea, and I think maybe they need to, obviously the beta was out. You had a go at the beta,
I had a go at the beta.
What did you think?
I had fun with it, but...
What are the controls? Is it like Ico? Because I'm picturing it like Ico, where you say run right, and there's like that sort of... Like they're running in jelly. There's a sort of delay and turn, or is it really nippy and quite fun?
It's quite. It's got to be nippy.
Okay, cool.
It's quite
See,
fun.
I wasn't sure.
But again, other than fighting the monster, I guess the majority of the game is in the looking around the world, going, "Where is this bloody monster?"
I suppose it's more of an exploration. I suppose in that respect, it's exploration based.
But with the online element, it's like I don't like multiplayer games.
Well, no, that's a problem for me. Unless it's VR, I've sort of been falling off of them. But still, I mean, we've done our best. Remember, if you have a comment, question or suggestion for a topic that you want us to talk about, head over to youtube.com/Sofa of Adam and leave us a comment, or better still, subscribe and show your love. We also encourage you to support each other, so play nice in the comments and in your VR games, and by George, we might all make the virtual world a slightly better place. So, moving on swiftly to reader mail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my thing. For reader mail, we've had quite a few comments from quite a lot of lovely people, and there's been quite a few subscribers as well, so we'll go through some of the ones that catch our eye. We've got... Oh yeah, in the Skyrim video that we did a few days ago, I got one from another random Brandon, who pointed out the little old lady that I bumped into in the little hut. She's actually a hag raven, and that she did have a hatch under her bed. So when I was wandering around her wandering around her dirt hut, going, "You seem all right. I bet there's something here." There damn well was. So that was totally my fault. Good spot on them. What else have we got? Oh yeah, DJ Bullet Speed, as always, has left a good number of comments, but he wants us to go and check out the east coast of Canada in the next Megaton Rainfall episode. He's curious to see if they've added his home province, which they might have. So I mean, it's unlikely.
Is that the French part of Canada on the east side? I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. I don't actually know. That's a really good point. Let us know down in the comments, actually. Do let us know where in Canada you are, because if I just fly to the east coast, I'm not going to find you.
Like,
Even if I'm in the game, it's not just going to hover. Here's the east of Canada. There you go. Off I'll fly, because I don't know what I'm looking for. Is there any landmark? Because I'll need something fairly well known for it to be in the game. Like Big Ben is well known enough to be in the game, so I need something unbelievably well known in Canada to lock onto.
Is he in
and go east
Toronto,
from there.
or is he in Alberta? I don't know.
Alberta? Is that a place?
Yeah, it's Alberta, Canada.
Maybe that's... Berta just makes me think of
Berta.
Dragon Ball. You cannot match my speed.
Oh, but okay, Hitch can.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Freezer can.
Yeah, but no, that's true, because when I went to look for where we lived, I couldn't find it.
No,
because it looks like they've done a sort of well, we're not on the island, but there's an island off the coast where we are, and it's only, I mean, if you were to look at a map of England on Google, at the bottom you've got the Isle of Wight on the south coast. Just above the Isle of Wight, there's a little crack, basically, that sort of leads inland a tiny bit, and there's a city built there, and we live around that. Portsmouth, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, they have that in America.
They have
a few of our. I mean, they go, they go Hampshire, and they struggle and go, why is there an E on the end? I've seen people do that in videos. They go Hampshire, and I'm like, yeah, but you have a Hampshire, and you have that in America.
It's New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. They say it like that in America, but when it comes to our one, they say them weird. I'm like, but you've got them. You've got New York, and just say New York.
I reckon they should just go and change their names and get original names instead of.
We should rename all of ours and call ours New York, and go for New Hampshire. Update, and then we can have all the new ones and say we stole them. Moving on from a nice comment from Stephen Knob with a P, so that's difficult to pronounce without sounding rude. But yo, this is awesome. Keep it up.
We will try.
Nice. We will try. What else? Nick Frost, who says that, talking about Megaton Rainfall, which is basically Goku Simulator, isn't it?
It is basically Goku.
Whoever
Superman.
made that game knew what they were doing as well. They knew it was going to be, like, they give you the ability to basically do a Kamehameha, and in an episode that hasn't gone up yet, you also get the ability to make lasers out your finger, and you can, like, cut a building.
Death beam!
Yeah, but you can actually cut a building in half, and it'll actually... the top
Slide
half
off.
of the building slices off, and you can get a proper cross-section through the building. I was really impressed. You can cut, like, ships in half, and they'll just slice in half, like they should. Like it's been cut in half with a lightsaber. Such a nice idea. But, sadly, this is going to lead on to a slightly worse comment, because he said that he wasn't technically that impressed, Nick Frost. Didn't feel like he was ever truly in the world. He still goes back to it from time to time, but it wasn't the game of the year that he was hoping for. But I'm hoping that he'll get back into it. He does see... we did have a quick chat, me and him. I was saying it's more of a B movie, really. It's like playing a B movie, because you got the sort of alien invasion. And
Yeah.
I do recommend it, though. If you like Dragon Ball and anime, you might like it more than if you like Independence Day and action films. I think this is more of an anime fantasy than it is a alien invasion, go out in there and man up.
A power fantasy.
Yeah, it's more anime than it is realistic.
Yeah.
So I'd go for... I mean, at the moment, I'm currently flying through Saturn. I was stood on the rings of Saturn, and it was beautiful. And then I flew into a gas giant, Jupiter, and my God, was it wonderful. And it is a gas giant. There's no floor. It's just all cloudy. So it's all cloudy, which isn't really the best excuse. Oh yeah, we've got one on Mario Kart. Oh yeah, because I was saying before, but Adrian Hamilton pointed out that VR Karts is getting horrible reviews, and it's making it into Frank's 10 worst video games, VR video games. But it looked alright in our review, which it does.
I liked it.
I was saying to him,
I liked it. It was Mario basically could do with it.
See, it's funny because I literally said that to him. I said, it's a bit tricky, but there are worse VR games. I don't know if I had to pick like the top 10 worst ones, whether VR Karts would be in that list.
No.
Because there are worse games.
It'd probably be in my mediocre game, you know. It's not like the Resident Evil.
But it's not any worse than Drive Club.
Yeah.
Or better than Drive Club, really. It's neither. But it's fun.
I did not like the VR in
If you
Drive
want to
Club.
just have a laugh with somebody you know and go round a go-kart track a few times and have some silly abilities, it's fairly good. I like the fact that it's got drifting, like it does in Mario Kart. You kind of boost and turn, and then you drift. And that allows you to go around corners better, which it should do, but it is a bit odd, because you can't go around the corners at all if you're not drifting some of them. So it's just like Mario Kart, which is a double-edged sword, really.
Yeah.
A bit difficult. Look at the subs. That's of our current number. We have 256 subs, Mike. Oh my God. Every time I see that number, I'm just like, I can't believe it. I'm so happy. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy that people are enjoying the VR stuff, because that's all we want, innit? We want to get people into VR. And to celebrate, we're going to read out the last few subscribers. We've got Speedy Boy Gamer / Speedy Boy, who joined 24 days, not 24 days ago, he's got 24 subs, 4 days ago. We've got Steve Orwell, thank you very much for joining us. Philip Lewis, also very much for joining us. Though you've got he's got like a stretched monkey face.
No, it's a
prosthetic.
It's a prosthetic, yes, but it's like a ventriloquist's dummy mouth.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, it is a ventriloquist. Good spot. Yeah, that's a weird picture though to have. It's distracting. And then we've got Godzilla.
I don't know.
And that's how he spelt it. That's how they spelt it. So I'll have none of that. And they joined as well, and the picture looks quite cool. I'm going to actually click and see what that is. It's like
It looks like a xenomorph.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's Godzilla. Like it's Godzilla in the Jurassic Park logo. That's kind of smart, actually. I like that. But that's basically everybody. To be fair. Yeah. Is there anything left that you want to talk about?
Not really.
No, nothing at all. Nothing?
No.
You're not going to try and convince me not to get Kerbal Space Program on PS4 so that we can record it? We can try and record it on the PC first, I suppose. I want to. I wouldn't mind putting that on. That is one of the best flat games in existence, that and Scrap Mechanic. I'd be recording Scrap Mechanic, but I cannot. The computer can't do that.
No.
Our computer can't do anything. It can just about edit videos, but it takes an hour, 2 hours to put the video together afterwards.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing left, then that's basically it. Thank you very much for listening, or having this video on in YouTube in the background. We do our best. We do appreciate you choosing your time to spend with us. If you check down in the comments, or if you check down in the description even, you'll find links to anything that we thought that was that interesting during the video. But mainly, you will find an MP3 download link for these podcasts. So if you want to just download this and listen to it when you're out and about, feel free. It comes as an MP3. It's free. Just take it. Should be fine. Just to play the easiest place I can find to host it, and you stay virtual.
Yes. And goodbye.
And goodbye.